and welcome to The Bottom Line, where we dig into the latest business and economic stories of the day. We always hope that the day we actually need to make an insurance claim never comes. It's sensible to have, but something we hope we don't have to follow up on. Unfortunately, the situation for too many in the southwestern part of Poland has changed dramatically in recent days, and some people have lost everything in the space of a day. The country is in the state of a natural disaster. On The Bottom Line today, we want to look at what insurance firms are coping with in the face of these regional floods. I am now joined by Bartosz Bigaj from the Polish Chamber of Commerce. Good afternoon, and thank you very much for joining us on The Bottom Line.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me. Yes, the situation is extremely difficult for the entire country, not only for insurance companies. And, the striking resemblance to what happened in 1997 is really dramatic. But when it comes to the situation and the expected value of the damage, which I think everyone is interested in, I think it's far too early to do any kind of speculation as to what will be the exact, what will be even, what will be projected value of those claims, as we know that the flood is not over. We know the areas which have been mostly affected by the water. However, there are still some crucial part on the map of southwest Poland, mainly Kędzierzyn, Koźle Opole, and Wrocław, which are extremely important to decide what will be actually the level of the damage and the compensation to be paid by the insurance undertaking. What is, I think, key priority now is to check whether all those solutions applied, those prevention solutions, for example, the reservoir in Racibórz, whether will pass their test and will be able to protect those cities. But as mentioned before, I think it's far too early to speculate on the expected value of the claims and expected damage.
And so it's too early to know exactly, but what have insurance companies done in the face of this unprecedented situation? What have insurance companies done to step in and assist those who have been impacted so tragically?
Yes, indeed, this is an unprecedented situation, and insurance undertaking have been working on its full capacity since Friday. They decided to increase their resources, including their staff in those areas which are mostly affected. So what they also decided to do was to create this crisis management teams, also to deploy some mobile claims handling points where those who are mostly affected by the water, by the effect of the flood, can notify their claims, the damage done to their property. Of course, insurance undertaking, they also decided to communicate with their client by SMS, trying to provide the clients with the instruction on safety, about instruction on the potential course of action. They also decided to simplify their claims handling procedure in order to bring this financial relief to those who are especially in the situation of need. They sometimes these days we know that there are claims handling procedure that can be finalized within one day. Also, Polish Chamber of Insurance, which I represent, we also issued a communicate to our clients, to the market, on how to behave in case of of this endangered circumstances, dangerous circumstances, what to do, how to protect yourself, how to protect your family, how to protect your belongings and your real estate.
So have you experienced an uptick in claims, or have the insurance firms actually reached out to your customers?
Yes, of course. As mentioned in these previous materials, there has been an increase. However, we also expect the amount of the claims to be notified to our clients and clients of our members in the future. So it's very difficult um, to actually expect or trying to foresee what will happen in future, bearing in mind this dynamic situation.
And is it possible to assess how much money will be paid out in total in terms of insurance claims, or is it absolutely too early to make these sort of assessments?
To be honest, I wouldn't dare to speculate because the scale of the event of this crisis is so big, and I'm not saying it's not unprecedented, but we have not observed anything like that most recent for the latest 3 decades. So we will need to wait when the water levels drop in order to make this evaluation.
And in terms of natural disasters like the one Poland is experiencing right now, how does it impact the annual financial budget of an insurance company or just the insurance industry, for instance, of Poland?
Yeah, so certainly when the amount of claims increases, that will have impact on the insurance undertaking balance sheet. But as mentioned, at this very stage, it's premature to speculate. However, of course, each of those cases later on needs to be analyzed individually. But what I would like to also underline is that the insurance undertaking are subject to um, very robust regime of its financial and liquidity aspects. So, for many years now, insurance undertaking, the sector has been well capitalized, and all those provisions, also stemming from national and local law, mm, uh, will provide tools, or actually their aim is to prevent situation like this when there is a massive natural catastrophe phenomenon like this one. And insurance undertaking, they are also prepared for that, as they perform also so-called stress test scenarios, meaning that they know that these cases of, so to say, out of scale even may happen. And that's why we know that, of course, that will have negative impact for the balance sheet of the insurance taking, but that will not create a dangerous or even potentially dangerous situation for those companies.
So just looking at the insurance industry in Poland per se, the industry itself is not in danger and you are ready for this situation.
Certainly, yes. And we, of course, hope for the situation right now to improve. But of course, nature is something unpredictable as insurance risk
And are
to
there
some extent.
desperate insurance policies being purchased right now, perhaps in areas that might be at risk of flooding?
Well, we've been notified that there were some attempts. However, please note that when it comes to those insurance nat cat policies, they have so-called the currency, or so to say, cooling off period, which means that you cannot basically buy an insurance policy if the real estate is at, so to say, immediate or certain risk of some natural catastrophes. So in other words, what I'm trying to say is that there are legal instruments to prevent situations like that when the clients decide to buy insurance only when they are aware of some immediate and certain catastrophe to come. That's why, as an insurance sector, we also try to raise awareness of the natural catastrophes and their potential impact on households and enterprise as well. And this is something that the sector and our chamber spend a lot of efforts to educate society in general
Yes,
on
and
this
that
necessity
takes
of.
me That takes me to my next question. Is there an increased chance of insurance fraud during times like this? Or perhaps are your industry experts ready for times like this as well?
Well, from the insurance perspective, this kind of event having this, so to say, systematic scale is also always very difficult to be covered by insurance. And on the EU level, there are a lot of initiatives that are currently now trying to be promoted in order to create this kind of public-private partnership, especially to protect situations like that, to those critical situations, those systematically critical situations that unfortunately we are dealing right now.
And is the insurance industry, or has the insurance industry perhaps been bracing for events like this, perhaps calculating more risk or more adverse weather conditions into your risk models, calculating into its rates? Or perhaps would you consider this to be a cyclical event?
Well, as mentioned before, there are many legal instrument and obligation towards insurance undertakings in place, meaning that insurance companies they need to be prepared for those type of events. That's one thing. Another thing is that it is obligation for insurance undertaking to have their models of climate risk mitigation in place, and those models they are improved annually. So certainly it is not also the risk of flood that may occur or should be taken by insurance undertaking into consideration, but also other other national catastrophes, and also those risks that are related to climate change.
Sure. Okay, Bartosz Bigaj, thank you so much for joining us on this day. Thank you so much for joining us on Business Arena.
Once again, thank you for having me.
And that was Bartosz Bigaj from the Polish Chamber of Insurance. Thanks so much for joining us on The Bottom Line and on Business Arena. I was your host, Marie Cato. Join us again tomorrow at 5 p.m. CET on TVP World. For more business stories, check us out on X and on tvpworld.com. Coming up next, World Talks. Goodbye.